All right, fifth grade, picking up where we left off after a little bit of a break. Let's just continue on the home stretch. And you guessed it, what? Got my special astronomy ruler back to take us through it. So we've got our two colors. So far we've got Orion the Hunter, Taurus the Bull, and Orija the Charioteer. Now starting to work our way back down the sky, everybody. And remember, this is going to be high overhead. Up here in astronomy, we call this point the zenith. Orija and Capella are pretty close to the zenith. Now we're starting to come back down the sky. Next up, my friends, we've got Gemini. So a fairly famous constellation, not quite as famous as Orion the Hunter, but very famous because it's a constellation of the zodiac. And we didn't really get to talk about that during your visit, everybody. But do you all see this curved line coming through right here? This fifth grade is called the ecliptic. Let's all try that. Everybody, please repeat after me. Ecliptic. Good job. That's the path the sun is taking in our sky throughout the year. And so it turns out, fifth grade, every single constellation that falls on the ecliptic was very, very important to astrologers long ago. Not yet scientific astronomers. Astrologers still charted the heavens very, very closely. And they looked at the positions of the stars and the planets at a time of a person's birth, and they thought it controlled their destiny. So we don't really believe in astrology these days, but we still see remnants of it. If you ever look at the horoscope in the newspaper where you can see your sign. So if you're born here in the May-June section, your sign might be a Taurus. If you're born here June, July, your sign might be a Gemini. Or me, my birthday is in late July, so my sign is a Cancer. That's Cancer the crab over there. You might wonder, well, wait a minute, I thought this was the winter sky, Mr. Krug. And you're right, it is. During the summertime, fifth grade, the sun comes through this part of the sky. So we can't see this stuff at all. We can only see this sky when the sun is in a totally different part of the sky. That's why this is the winter sky. Okay, so we've got our twins. And remember, we have two twin brothers here, everybody. Castor is the top brother. Pollux is the bottom one. And it's actually Pollux that's the brighter of the two. So there we've got Gemini, the twins, one of the signs of the zodiac, with the bright twin brothers of Castor and Pollux. Okay, next up, we've got our hunter. And what good would our hunter be without his loyal hunting dogs? Fifth grade, where are my dogs at? Ho, ho, ho. So first up, we've got one of the tiniest constellations on the whole night sky. That, everybody, is Canis Minor. So we've got our little and big dog. So, of course, Canis Minor is going to be our little dog. And it is truly little. Only 2 stars that you can see just with your eyes. But we're in luck. Our bottom star is fairly bright. Notice it's a bigger black dot. And remember, the bigger dots represent brighter stars. Not bigger stars, brighter stars. And this bottom one is definitely brighter, and its name is Procyon. The silly way I remember that, I think this little dog's a very good hunter, not an amateur, but a pro for Procyon. So if that one is Canis Minor, then down here we've got Canis Major. So if Canis Minor is our little dog, fifth grade Canis Major would be our big dog. Good job. Now the stick figure that's shown here is a little bit different than what I show you in the planetarium. In the planetarium, I show you the doggy's ears really well. Here, the dog's ears are a lot smaller, but that's okay. Remember, our stick figures are not official. So stick figures are fun to make on the sky. We've got them on the star chart. But did you know, fifth grade, that astronomers don't have any agreed upon shape for stick figures? So on this chart, they might look this way. And if you notice, it's a little bit different than what we see on our coloring sheet here from 365 Starry Nights. Nothing wrong with that. It just means stick figures aren't totally official. So let's shade in Canis Major, our big dog. Okay, we got 1 star to go, everybody, and that is going to be our dog star of Sirius, the brightest star in Earth's night sky. And because it's the brightest star, it's also the biggest dot on our star charts. Now, do remember, I won't go too deep into it, but brightest star in the sky does not mean it's the biggest star. Far from it. It doesn't even mean it's truly the brightest star. Like Betelgeuse and Rigel are actually brighter than Sirius. So how can this be? Well, it turns out, 5th grade, Sirius is fairly bright, but it's also very close to us. It's less than 9 light years away. So when you look up on the winter sky and you see Sirius, you're seeing what it looked like only about 9 years ago. Meanwhile, Betelgeuse is 500 light years away. So you're seeing what it looked like back in the Middle Ages, the 1500s. Rigel is 1,000 light years away. So you're seeing what it looked like a little bit after the year 1000 AD. So when astronomers talk about this, they get very, very fancy, and they say Sirius's apparent magnitude makes it the brightest star in the sky. Okay, we've got everything traced. One thing that you all don't have to put in, but I want to point it out to you, let's all with our fingers, let's trace our winter W, everybody. That's our big asterism that ties the winter sky together. So let's all put our fingers on Procyon. So our winter W goes from Procyon in Canis Minor, down to Sirius in Canis Major, up to Betelgeuse, the armpit of the mighty one, and down to Rigel in Orion, and then it ends up here at Aldebaran in the face of Taurus the Bull. There it is, W for winter. All right. I bet your star charts look just like mine or even a little bit better. Haters will say it's fake, but we all know this is the real stuff right here, 5th grade. So the next time I check in with you, we're going to try to do this again, but we're going to connect the dots on the even more challenging T charts. Until then, 5th grade, keep looking up. Peace!